Hi, this is Mika, and thanks for coming back to my channel. It has been forever. I know. I'm gonna take a sip of water in regards to that. I have had serious, in a good way, life changes. A lot of things has happened, but one thing has stayed positive, and one thing has remained the same. I still practice. I'm still learning, and in other avenues, I'm still sharing the things that I learned. So, welcome back. I'm back. I'm settled. I am now located in Arizona. Before I was in Florida. So there's that. And I'm in a new place. If you hear a noise in the background, that's the washing machine. The laundry room is near this room. I haven't quite figured out where I'm going to be yet. Right now, this is my space, my office, craft space, whatever you want to call it. But here I am. So, I wanted to get on here and I wanted to talk about a couple different things because I think it's great to share. A lot of times I see videos on YouTube, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos too. I see a lot, and I see where people are doing spell work, and they're talking about how, to do all these magical things, and it's pretty awesome, and I'm assuming it's working for them. Just what I see in a YouTube video afterwards, or what they tell you. But one thing, of course, I didn't video. I didn't share ahead of time, so just take my word on this, like I'm doing theirs. But manifesting and applying, which is all the same to me, but law of attraction, universal law, to me, how can you be practicing witchcraft or any type of craft if you're not in tune with universal law of attraction, and specifically? So for me, I write a lot about that on my blog, Leap Taken. It's leaptaken.wordpress.com. But what I want to talk about is I manifested this entire move. Now, it took the combination of my husband to also align with the idea. And actually, there was a little bit of friction because he wasn't sure. He was hesitant initially when everything actually came into light and it came into fruition. He really didn't know if he wanted to take the opportunity. He was thinking maybe, no, maybe not. But it had already been done without even any real effort. And whenever there was an obstacle, literally, it just moved. It just disintegrated. It just moved out the way. Whenever there was an obstacle to get us here, and here we are in 100+ degree weather. But I love it. I like it better than Florida because even though it's like hell hot, we're calling it hell hot here. Even though it's hell hot, there's no humidity. And if first of all, if I had here, change the subject. This is my hair. Tomorrow's my wash day. This is a wash and go. It's fluffy, but my hair will be fluffy, but it will also have shrunken up to here. So, and I got an old school banana clip right now, but this is just a little, I've been going to the gym, trying to lose a little weight. So I sweat out, any kind of hairstyle. So anyway, but my point is, that's one of the reasons I like it, is because I get to have my hair stretched out and I can see the length in it. So that's exciting. But back to what I was saying. So I manifested. Now let's add a little bit more, because I read books. You see a lot of, in the social media world, Instagram, whatever, or especially YouTube, we see a lot of people talking about how they manifested money, how they manifested a person, a love interest into their life, a new apartment, a new home, what have you, a new job. One other thing I just want to add, and I think that it's working for people because it's all about your intent, magic, everything. It's all about your intent. However, when you are practicing in the craft and you are of the mindset of, oh, well, I'm going to manifest this, when I'm practicing any sort of candle magic, making potions, herbal remedies, whatever I'm working on, whatever it is, I am manifesting. It's all about intent. I'm employing that. And I think if you are educated on law of attraction and you practice, you pretty much have almost a fail-proof way of getting your charm spells or what have you is fail proof, like, because you're just so on top of it. And I can honestly say that that's really the key. If you're finding that you're having a hard time getting things to work out for you, you practice and you've done candle magic, you waited to the new moon and planted your intentions, your seedlings, if you will, and you wanted to reap on the full moon, and the full moon went by and nothing changed, and you said your affirmations as far as magically speaking internally, this is coming, so mote it be, it is done, what have you, whatever. When you add in the other side of it, which when you hear other people talk about it, they never talk about magic or witchcraft or anything like that. They don't actually, religion is usually excluded out, which is cool. I like that. But, not that witchcraft is a religion, but you get my point. But, I'm losing track. I'm so excited to finally make a video. But, what I want to say is that it makes the spells work, because you can employ those very principles of using affirmations, mantras. It's basically just feeding energy into your spell work. So in my case, there's quite a few things, and I'm so excited because I looked at my manifestation list, and this is just a list. Some things are time sensitive that I've created. It's about 13 different items, but overall they will have a lasting, lifelong consequence for me, in a positive way, obviously, consequence. So now this is for my life. So far I have 4 down, and I created this list in April, and I purposely created the list in April because that's spring, and to me spring is a time of renewal. So it's a time to look at my goals, what I've done so far, and what do I still want to achieve. So I created that list in April before I left. Quite a few things happened. One of course, the obvious is I said I wanted to, by then we knew we were coming here. There was still a lot of up in the air for a while, to be honest with you, but we knew we ultimately were coming here. It was a logistical issue after a while. So part of one of my items that I wanted to manifest magically was to make sure that we got here safely, without incident, and it was a peaceful journey. All of those things happen. Now, let me explain something to you. We drove here across country. We drove from one end of the United States, Florida, toward the tip, because I was in South Florida, all the way over to Arizona, which is one state from the edge of the country, California. So we're only hours away, hours. I could drive there in one day to California. So, needless to say, that was a long journey. And we did that without incident. There was no issue. Everything worked out as it was supposed to. We were able to stop when we wanted to stop. We were able to make extra stops. And we stayed in our, on schedule. Anything can happen on a road. Unfortunately, we saw accidents. We had 2 different hotels to stay at. There was nothing, really, anything that really happened. It was without incident. And honestly, my biggest concern was being bored, or just kind of feeling stir crazy in a car. And I fell asleep most of the ride. So, and I'm normally never a person who could fall asleep on road trips. I did on this trip. It took us 2 days and a night to get there. So, or here. So that was one of the items. I have a couple, of course, some of the things are personal, but I have a couple other things that I definitely wanted to happen for my children, my adult children. And for one of them, it happened immediately. And there was so much, my son went into the military, and it seemed simple enough, except he had been trying to get in since February. And there has been one ridiculous obstacle. Like, he got held up for burping. It's crazy. Anyway, the point is, it was uncertain after a while, because they were asking for additional paperwork from doctors to prove that he doesn't have some sort of gastro issue and all this other stuff. He had gas on the wrong day. It sounds silly, but with they were not playing with him with the military, and this went on for months, back and forth, multiple visits. The recruiter, us saying, "Is he gonna get in or not?" And they're like, "Well, it was just one thing after another for something so silly, to the point that he was getting discouraged, and I really wanted him to continue on the path." And I just, again, his path needed to be cleared. It needed to just work. It needed to be put together. I didn't do this right away, because honestly, this was his journey. But come on, I mean, his mom practiced. Why wouldn't I help him? So when I did, it worked, and now he's there. My point is, and there's, again, I'm just the personal things I don't want to talk about, but they all came in. But I'm 4 out of 13 for a list I created in April, and we're not even at the summer solstice yet. And this is a full moon time right now. That's the 17th. It was a full moon. You can still benefit for the energy of the full moon as of today. It's the 19th. So I say all this to say, law of attraction and magic, to me, are kind of the same thing anyway. We tend to just use more props. They'll use vision boards, which you can use a vision board too in your craft. Why not? Why can't you create a vision board where you have, all your goals, your desires, the very spell work that you're trying to create? What if I want to buy a house? That's a great way to use a vision board. I can put the decor, the furniture I want in it. I would enchant the vision board. I would, put the spell on the vision board so that anything I put up here, because I would just keep adding pieces as it goes. Anything that I put on this board will come into physical, into my reality. While still using the very principles of, the law of attraction, the way, it's taught now, scripted, which I've gotten into actually more. And again, I do it from a magical point of view. You write down it like an I am statement, or this is happening. Whatever the thing is you want, you write it like you're living it, and how you feel about it, how it tastes, how it feels, the whole thing. And you write, and you can do this daily. This is another way to give energy to spell work. So I'm going to take it a step back. In my case, we are right now in a wonderful condo here. It's beautiful. It's in a beautiful neighborhood. It's relatively quiet. I feel safe. I feel very comfortable here. And we're here temporarily. We'll be here until the fall, because we needed time to figure out where we want to be. So either we'll continue to, I don't know, I've only been here for a couple months. I don't know what we're going to do. And that was the point. I didn't want to feel rushed. For the first time in my life, I don't have small children. I don't have to worry about neighborhoods, all that sort of stuff. It's just really me and my husband's decision on where we want to be. And if we choose to want to, still live like gypsies, we will. Locally around this job, but we'll live like gypsies. We'll see. I can't convince him to move to a tiny house or RV. That's big here. He will not do it. And that's okay. I probably would hate it in the end, but I do want to try it a little bit. But anyway, see how I get off? See? Let me slow down and organize my thoughts. So, let's say you were going to do a candle spell, right? You lit your candle, you anointed it with your oil, your blessing oil. Let's say it was for money. And you have a green candle, and you have a cinnamon oil. Let's say you also have some dried basil, oregano, something green. And, you roll put that down, and you roll the candle and your herbs after you've already anointed with the oil. The entire time your intention is very clear. You're drawing this money towards you. Let's say a certain amount. Let's say it's $3,000. $3,000. I need this $3,000. And you're thinking, okay, I know I need it, so now I'm going to act as if I have it. I have $3,000. It's already there. The universe is providing it to me. Insert your deity. So-and-so is, I petition you. You've already written out your petition, perhaps, or you might be doing it, off the cuff. I petition so-and-so to aid in bringing this money to me. I offer you this. You may have water. You may have whatever their offering is in the process. All of this is happening. You light the candle. You may say some words. If you want, whatever your spell is at the time, rhyme or not. Once you do that, as the candle burns, so mote it be, it is done. If it's a 7-day candle, you might attend this candle. You may, blow it out at night and relight it in the morning. Have another ritual that's giving it energy. Now, to take it a step further with a lot of these kind of law of attraction steps, all that stuff I said, let's say you just keep the candle burning the whole time, right? One of the other things that you would do in the process is you would script, let's say, how you're spending the money. So you need this, let's say you need the $3,000 to pay your bills. So you might do something like you would write out, oh, today is Friday. I have the money. I just paid my rent and I feel great about it. I'm so happy. I have a safe, I have secure housing, all that's stable, and I've paid it up. I don't have to worry. I've paid my, electric bill. I don't have to worry about having power. I'm so grateful. This is a great feeling, knowing that I've been able to accomplish this. Oh, I'm so grateful to my ancestors. I'm grateful to our deity. I'm grateful to the universe. This is great. I'm so happy. You want to speak the emotion into, or write down the emotion into it. So you would do all this, right? And that would be, let's say, the next day. So the following day, you might want to script again. Oh, now that everything is paid, such a weight has been lifted off of me. Now I'm thinking about how will I continue to have abundance in my life. I'm thinking about selling, some of my crafts that I created, or I'm thinking about applying for this job. And the next day, I've applied for the job. You see where I'm going to apply for the job. I'm living well. I don't have to worry about financial insecurity again. Everything is going so great. And you're writing your story so that it comes into reality. To add another witchy element, I would have already enchanted the notebook. That notebook would have been enchanted so that anything I write in it comes to pass. So I've done the candle spell. I've worked that. I'm feeding more energy into it. I'm calling out beyond, the law of attraction. I've got my, my deity or, reference spirit, universe, ancestors. I'm trying to just make this kind of a one-size-fit-all approach if you practice in the craft. But you kind of hopefully get what I'm talking about here, where to me, it's just energy. And you're adding more energy. And you're in a place of positivity and hopefully joy. And you're not in a place of need and want. You're in a place of already knowing you received it. You are, after a while, vibrating on the level of I've already received it. Yeah, that notice is still sitting there because it might have been only 24 hours and maybe it didn't work that fast. I don't know, to the degree that you work the spell, but the point is it can happen. It'll work. Matter of fact, I know it works because I've done this. Where I've had, of course, who hasn't had run into an issue where you've, had a deficit, I think some of the best planners, financial people out here who pretty much has it together, or it doesn't have to be a need, it might be a want, where you want to go away, you want this trip, but you kind of have everything budgeted a certain way, and let's say you got kids and you got tuition and you got all this other stuff. It's not that you don't have the money to do it, it's just that your money is allocated differently, but you want that trip. So let's get together and think about how we're going to make that happen. I need $3,000 to pay for this trip. I take time off, but I need the money. You see my point? I need it. Let's say it needs to be booked now. It's a group thing. So you only have a certain amount of time to get this money together. But you get where I'm going, hopefully, with this. But anywho, so yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. And I hope that this helps people, because a lot of times I'll read comments, I'll see things, and people, it's like there's this woo-woo effect, if you guys know what I'm talking about, woo-woo, where people don't want to come across as woo-woo, even though they are woo-woo. Woo-woo is anything pagan, esoteric, witchy, hippie-like, all that sort of stuff. That's woo-woo. Well, I'm a strong believer in science. I'm a strong believer in faith, whatever you choose for your faith to be or not. I'm a strong believer in intelligence and being able to think for yourself, but I also believe in my intuition because it's proven to work for me. I also understand my emotions mean something. I also understand there's a spiritual realm, and there's realms that we're not always in touch with, but they exist. So magic, as we call it, and woo-woo stuff, we're giving them these names and these titles because maybe we don't have a scientific term for it yet. At one point, everything was magic. There was no science or scientific term for it. So, we're now, of course, because law of attraction, people are more into it. Thoughts become things. People are putting that under a magnifying glass. And I know there are studies that have been done about this, about the effects of, thoughts, prayers, if you will, all of that stuff. What have you put people together and they're all on the same vibration as far as thinking the same thoughts. First, you got to prove they're all thinking the same thoughts, but assuming everybody's being honest, they do studies like that and to see what can manifest from that. So I'm just trying to add some authenticity to all of this. Although I don't think, if you're watching my channel, I hope that's not how you're thinking. I hope not, because why are you here? But anyway, so I wanted to talk about that. I'm going to record another video. So if you see me again with the same look, the same outfit, that is why. About a different subject. But I want to get a bunch of videos out and post it and get back to honoring this channel and this space because I started it and I had intentions and they didn't work out. And I think because I didn't put the energy into it, and also just life. I tell you, every time I thought of a topic and then thought to do the video, there would be something that would stop me. Either I had a house full of people for some reason, all my kids came back in the house at one time. Not that I couldn't do a video there, but I couldn't concentrate because they're around, walking through, making noise. It is what it is, right? But I'm alone now. Anyway, I'm not alone, but you get it. I have time and I have space and I have the inspiration, more importantly. So stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.